Food and weight obsession can be exhausting. Losing weight, gaining weight, dieting, feeling like a failure because you missed a workout, binged, overate, or gained all the weight back. The cycle is endless and it can be maddening. But I'm here to say you can stop the mental madness. You can take back control of your food behaviors, but you have to face your fears, you have to ask for help, and make a change. I am Leslie M. Thornton, permanent weight loss coach from hpwl.co. This is Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss, and I know you can make this happen. On this podcast, you will hear how to stop the mental madness, love your body, trust your food decisions so you can create a life of happiness, freedom, and inner peace. Hello, Leslie M. Thornton, Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss. Today's topic for the podcast was requested by a new member in our Facebook group. If you're not a member of our Facebook community, it's the Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss community. You can go ahead and ask to join, answer a few quick questions, and you'll have the opportunity to make requests for podcast topics for me to talk about to support you on your permanent weight loss journey. For those of you who don't know me, I have been running the Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss program since 2015 full-time. I'm a registered nurse by trade. I used to work in the surgical and neuro ICU as well as kidney transplant, and I was called to do this work. I struggled with diet mentality for most of my life. Since I was 8 years old, I was on a diet and counting calories. I was on Slim Fast shakes by 4th grade and doing Weight Watchers by 8th grade and Atkins and South Beach and going to the gym. I was a personal trainer and I was never super overweight, but I always said I had the mind of a fat kid. And I basically was terrified that if I was left to my own devices, that I would be on, if you remember the show, My 600-Pound Life one day. I literally just thought that I would never, ever be able to stop my eating. And just couldn't control myself. I thought I bought into a belief that I was a food addict 100%. I know many people that I speak to also believe that they are food addicts. And I'm here to say that that's not possible. You can be addicted to alcohol and drugs. You cannot be addicted to food, but I understand the feeling of not being able to control yourself. And I'm here to say that emotional mastery is the way out. I'm an NLP, neurolinguistic programming trainer. A lot of the work that I do involves emotional mastery. I actually just finished recording a TEDx talk called How to Release Your Major Negative Emotions in 90 Seconds. And my vocation is this work. I absolutely believe that not only your inner peace around food, body, and weight is possible and is a worthwhile investment in your time and your energy and yourself, but not only that, but it's also the gateway to your life expanding in ways that you could only ever imagine. Since getting past this myself, I have, left my nursing job and live a life by design every single day of my life. I love the simple things in life. I also love beautiful experiences. I'm a big sports fan. I really like sports. I just went to the Ryder Cup in Italy. I just got back last night, actually, and it was amazing. I also have a little dog, which sometimes barks in the background. Her name is Zara. And we've been doing this podcast since 2020, and we are over 200 episodes now. And the work grows. It gets richer. It evolves as I evolve. And I will keep doing this as long as people are asking for help. So let's get into it. So on menopause today, I know I've recorded podcasts in the past on menopause, and I know that it's a hot topic. Most of my clients are between the ages of really 50 and 60. Primarily, of course, there's people outside of it, but that seems to be a time in life where there's a lot of life changes in general. A lot of times, you're past motherhood and you have adult children, and you have been through different relationships, whether you're married now and things are stable, or maybe your relationships haven't gone that well, and maybe you've kind of signed off on relationships, or you have a belief that first you need to lose weight and then you'll be able to attract your partner. Yeah, so whatever those places are. And then obviously there's the belief systems around what menopause means when it comes to your metabolism and to your weight and to, how active you're able to be or should be. Um, the medical system is something that I highly respect, being a nurse myself and having a very medically oriented family upbringing. And I got to see firsthand by working in the medical field that doctors do not know all answers. And sometimes the advice that they have about needing to lose weight or about what to expect to happen to your weight, for example, during menopause, what you can expect is not helpful at all, 0% helpful. And I just acknowledge you for being here and continuing to educate yourself on other perspectives, because I truly believe that whatever resonates with you as how you want to go about this chapter of your life is what you should follow. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a big inspiration of mine for the work that he's done and continues to do. And he studied the spontaneous remissions of diseases all over the world. And what he found was people who spontaneously remissed from these diseases did not have the same religion. They did not all use medical, modern day medicine. They did not all believe in God. They did not all do juice cleanses or fasting or vitamin C infusions, meditation, yoga, what have you, supplements, workout plans, exercise regimes. None of that stuff was in common from these people. The one thing that people who all spontaneously remiss had in common was that they completely surrendered to whatever mode of therapy that they used. They believed with 100% certainty that whatever they did was going to work for them. So you can look back at your life and look at times when things really worked for you and be able to pinpoint like, wow, that was alignment. That's how I felt so good. And I knew that was the avenue for me. That's what you want to do, because that's, as soon as you find that, and there's multiple avenues to go. So what I'm going to share with you today is my perspective based on my experience and based on my education and training about the unconscious mind and the fact that we all are what we believe. The first 0 to 10 years of our lives is when the blueprint of your unconscious mind is laid out. And that's where all of the results and outcomes you get in your life are based from. So if you came from a family that was very weight conscious, then you would be programmed to also be weight conscious and to have a belief that weight gain is bad. So as you may be experiencing weight gain during this time of your life, as you're going through menopause, your belief system will be extra activated because you have a belief that weight gain is bad. So all of that to say, just trust yourself in whatever I say today that resonates with you, then great, follow it. And if there's anything that doesn't, you can let that go. And the biggest thing is, once you find a message that resonates with you, really aim and shoot, go for it 100% so that you can get whatever kind of result that you're wanting to get in life. And health follows your being in alignment and you're saying yes to what feels right for you right now, which to me is very exciting. Okay, so lots of beliefs going on around menopause, again, around your metabolism, all this type of stuff. Here's the quick and dirty about this. This, from working with people in this time of your life, can be the most absolutely amazing, rich, beautiful time of your life if you choose to see it that way. And you're gaining weight or not being able to lose weight in the way that you might have been able to in the past during this time could be the best gift you've ever been given. Let me say more. Well, first of all, the fact that you're even listening to this message, that is maybe more alternative than what you may find if you were to find a very medical heavy podcast on weight loss during menopause. I will say that I have personally seen people in menopause and way past menopause lose weight easily and hundreds of times. So it is possible, despite what anyone says about menopause, for you to lose weight right now. You 100% can. You may need to get very rigid and very strict. When I saw other people doing it, they, it was in a food addiction program that I used to follow, which I do not recommend. I've done a podcast episode on that. But basically, it was absolutely no sugar, absolutely no flour, no snacking in between meals, no alcohol, no caffeine. It was so strict. And, obviously, if you're not snacking in between meals, there was intermittent fasting going on in between. People in menopausal age group and beyond were losing weight. It was coming off them like nothing, and not just a few people, like all of them. So it is 100% possible. I want you to know that. And as I talk about restriction in that way, you want to pay attention to your initial reactions to that, because if your reaction to that is, oh my gosh, no, I just want to be able to enjoy this time in my life. And being social with my family is important. And I do want to be able to have a piece of my daughter's wedding cake or my granddaughter's birthday cake when it comes time. And I want to, all the things that come along with, food and that kind of stuff. Then, doing something that restrictive may not be something that resonates with you. Now, the other thing that I see as this time of your life being so rich and magical is, like, for most of my clients in your age group right now, it's the first time that you've actually had the ability to stop and focus on just you, because you're not caretaking anymore if you're a mom, which most of my clients are. And, you're just less needed. And, things are kind of status quo, and you may be in a financial situation where things are okay. Of course, they could always be better, but you're stable. And, then it brings up this, like, what's next thing. And if your weight is going up, it could be a sign of the fact that you're just not engaged with something that actually elevates you or really motivates you or really excites you. Maybe in the past, dieting and losing weight or following some kind of strict plan or something, or exercising a lot was, like, really super exciting to you and you actually liked it in the past. But what if this chapter in your life is more about, like, appreciating the relationships that you have, the life that you've built, the family that you've created, and just really getting to enjoy it? And in my experience, if you've been a dieter your whole life and you're very weight focused, it's almost impossible to enjoy those things to the fullest capacity. For myself, I was enjoying it very, very, very little. Because I was always just so in my head about, like, oh my God, is there going to be any cake left at the party? Are they going to eat all the food? Oh my God, how am I going to not eat that food when I'm there? What am I going to wear? Oh my God, like, am I going to fit into my bathing suit next year? I better start now, trying to leave clothes out so that I get motivated to lose weight for, whatever, all of it, and if it works for you, that's fine. And most of the people that I talk to, it does not work for. So I really work with people who are at the end of the rope with all of it, and they're looking for, like, a deeper, more meaningful experience when it comes to their health journey now. So yeah, it's like, so let's not miss out on the richness of what this menopausal time, which it just so happens to be this time as well. And I think there's a connection of like your soul is asking you to pay attention more to what matters to you and like to get in touch with your own truth, your own soul, your own spirit, your own desires, as you're in this chapter of life where you're not halfway anymore. It's maybe more than halfway, or you're getting there, and it's just natural that you start having different thoughts and different desires. So my invitation to you would be to, really ask yourself like, okay, if I already had mastered the weight loss thing and my weight was where I wanted it to be right now, what would I want this chapter of my life to look like? And part of that chapter could be, I really would like to heal my relationship with my body and my food and have a normal relationship with it, learn how to accept myself for who I am and surround myself with other people who also are on that same kind of journey, which obviously our Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss Fast Track to Freedom program provides. I know for myself, like that was like a bucket list item that I did not know existed. I used to always say, if there was a genie and I was granted 3 wishes, that the only wish that I really cared for was to be able to eat whatever I want and not gain any weight. Because the truth was, I actually really enjoyed food. I really enjoyed trying new things and experiencing new cultures, and really loved traveling. And I didn't want to have to say no. But again, I didn't want to be on my 600-pound life. So for me, investing in myself to learn how to heal my relationship with food was like a bucket list item. Like, oh my God, if that's possible, like, yes, please sign me up. Like, I want that. And what I quickly found and what my clients find is like, actually, this journey is really, pardon the barking, not really about the food, body, and weight stuff much at all. It's about like, what is this time about? And so when we get your brain to actually focus on what you really desire at this time in your life of like, that feels so rich and beautiful, then we can support you in coming up with, what way of eating supports my having this type of, um, lifestyle where I'm going towards these new goals, whether they're big goals of like traveling and starting a business, or they're like really subtle things of just like enjoying your family and the experiences that you're having in life. Because our bodies, right, as long as they are supporting us in doing the activities that we really care about doing, and there is no issue. So, for example, when I was super restrictive with my eating, it also made my energy really low, and it made me feel really constricted because I was always trying to make sure that I wasn't eating more so I didn't gain weight, which had me be less active. It had me less happy, had me less social. So I was really living my life in very black and white space. Once I actually embraced the fact that like I am who I am, like, so I grew up with a mom who she's, very disciplined with her eating and does not eat a lot at all, and has maintained a very, in my opinion, small body like the entire time I've known her. She also grew up chubbier and has, definitely fears of weight gain. Her life is different than mine. I'm an entrepreneur. I've traveled all over the world. I am very social. I'm confident in meeting new people. And I want to live my life in full color. It's me. I'm not my mother. And the reason I'm sharing that is because oftentimes we unconsciously will adopt the beliefs of what our parents have, but it's like, who are you? And again, during this menopausal time, can be this extraordinary opportunity to find out who you are. Because if you have been creating a family and just kind of been on autopilot of, being in service in that beautiful way in life, you may not have had opportunities to ask, those questions and like to get to say yes to you and get to know you. And part of that, when you're doing that, is once you get to know yourself. So for myself, I found like, I do like cocktails on the weekends. I do want to eat whatever I want, socially. I do like, sweets at times. I do, and then even the types of movement, like I don't love, running marathons, but I do love lifting weights and I do love swimming. Like that's just me. So as soon as you get clear on what you do love and what you want to be doing. And then you let go of like, first I need to lose weight and then I can, and you just start doing those things now as the priority, then your body becomes what it needs to become. If you think about like pro athletes, if you look at Olympians, right? Every single Olympic game that there is, everybody's body has a different shape. Swimmers have those huge shoulders, but they also are very, skinny towards the middle. Um, and we can out like the shape soccer players are usually very just like thin, but then like small muscles, basketball players like big and muscles everywhere. And right. Like we could go on. And it's like their bodies become the shape that they need to be to perform the best at their sport, right? So if we look at your life by design that you want to create in this beautiful, exciting chapter of your life that you have the opportunity to not miss right now by being obsessed with trying to lose weight for the next rest of your life, as I see most people do. Right. And then it's like, oh, okay, like this is what my pro athlete life looks like. And that does not mean you need to exert yourself. Like your pro athlete life could be like, I want to learn how to meditate. I want to learn how to be present. I want to learn how to cook, beautiful meals. I want to, whatever it is. Right. And it's like, okay, so say cooking and traveling is like a huge thing and like experiencing new things. Well, then your body that you're creating to become the pro athlete to live this life by design is probably not going to be super thin, but it's going to be this body, right? I can say with 100% certainty that this body that I have is designed by me. And trust me, I've got extra stuff going on. I've got extra stuff going on for sure, but I love all of it because my way of eating that stays consistent. By the way, I just got back from Italy. Like my weight went up 1 pound, which could be gone tomorrow. Like, and I ate things. I ate all the bread. I had like, and I'm not the type of person that could eat whatever she wants and never gain any weight. And I know we're talking about menopause, but I'm also talking about like, it's about your lifestyle. And if you are always like a yes to living whatever kind of life you want to live, and you focus more on how you want to feel, right? So I'm not talking about like gorge yourself. And if you are in a spot where I was in the past, where you've been dieting your whole life and you are terrified that you won't be able to stop, and you even have evidence that you don't stop eating once you start, then we have work to do. And again, that's what the Fast Track to Freedom program that I have supports you through, because it's challenging to get past those fears. And to have a healthy relationship with these foods that you tend to overindulge in, or maybe your nighttime eating, snacking, these things that really come into play here. But once you get over that hump, or if you're over that hump already and like you're not really concerned about overdoing it, then I really recommend like just get clear on like what's the bucket list, like what matters to you right now. And then how can you start organizing and planning your life to do those things, and start programming your mind to be grateful for the fact that you can do these things. And watch how the brain will come up and say, but my weight, but my eating, but my needs to get fixed. It's a lie. It's what the brain does to try to keep us safe and stuck from not doing the things or facing the discomforts of aging, and maybe body changes in general, which can also be a grieving process because your body is changing. I just met a woman. I went to a women in business event in Huntington Beach, California, such a lovely event. And she supported people specifically through menopause. And she was saying the same thing that I'm saying, like, it's such a beautiful time in life. And she's like, I was wearing a, more tightly fitted dress. And she's like, I used to be able to wear dresses like that, but, my body has changed. So now I get to wear things like this. And she looked amazing. Right. So also making sure your wardrobe, is in alignment. Like maybe it's time to go shopping, and instead of like trying to fit into stuff or making yourself feel bad about these things, it's like, how can you look as fabulous as you can look with the body that you have now? And how can you start seeing like, wow, this age and this as like, okay, like this is wisdom, like I have so much wisdom, and there's been so many things that I've done, during, my time on earth. And, how can this be beautiful, really? So, it's all about the way that you look at things and your perspective. Um, of course, I'm also a big believer in like, what can I add in during this time that's going to support me? So, I'm sure you've done research on like best practices during menopause for weight loss, but rather than like, it's, focusing on like, I'm not good enough or, um, because my weight is going up, this is scary, or I should avoid this, or whatever that is. Um, just really um, learning like, okay, well, maybe my calcium, can be lower at this time with osteoporosis. So, like, what kind of dairy or what kind of thing that has calcium in it, like vegetable, whatever, can I start adding in that feels like I'm doing something really in service to my body and like what it needs at this time? Get your bloods drawn and see. But again, if you're seeing it as this, that, oh my gosh, this is scary and I can't control my weight, then it's always going to have this hard uphill battle feeling. Um, so the emotional mastery helps with that I teach people. So your feelings about being in menopause and what that brings up for you are valid. I want you to know that. So feel first, feel the grief or the sadness or the anger on what's happening with your body right now. And right after, you allow yourself to feel, then that's when all these not like beautiful new ideas of like, how can I love myself better right now? What can I add into my diet that's going to increase my energy levels? And, what can I add into my life at this time? Maybe, you know, low weight bearing activities, for example, is good at this time in your life, right? So it's like, okay, well, this is exciting. Like maybe you've never lifted weights before, or maybe you have notoriously hated lifting weights, but like maybe you can find a class that you love that like doesn't feel like it's terrible, but feels like, and it's also socially nourishing and nurturing as well, right? So, um, yes. So these are my thoughts for menopause so far. Also, with just relationships in general, taking an inventory on what those look like for you. And, can your relationship with your husband be even richer? Um, are there things that you guys, would love to have conversations about and start doing? Can your sex life be richer? Um, I have a lot of clients who they have a lot of body shame and, don't look at me and turn off the lights. And it's sad, and most of the times their husbands think that they're the most beautiful people on earth and they just can't believe it. And again, you have work to do, right? If you get triggered around the scale or seeing yourself in the mirror, taking photographs of yourself, there's opportunities to really get to work on that kind of stuff. So if you need any additional support with this, the website is hpwl.co. You'll see our free training in there. You'll see a way to book a call with our team in there. And then you and I will jump onto a Zoom call and have a deeper conversation about what's going on, where you're at in life, what your goals are, and your deepest desires. And then giving you all the tools for the emotional mastery, the hypnosis, all of the interventions that I have, and as well as the mindset required to turn the page and to let go of this mental obsession with food, body, and weight, and really start living your most amazing, abundant, beautiful, energized life. It's such a beautiful chapter to be in. I'm not there myself, but from what I like to ask people who are in different, that are older than me of like, what's this age range like? And they're like, it's really good, like it's even better than, your 30s or whatever. So don't miss it. Don't miss any time of your life. You only get one life to live, right? And, again, your feelings about this chapter of your life are valid, but hopefully you took away some actionable items for yourself today to maybe start looking at this a little bit differently, and maybe feel a little bit excited about this chapter. And if you need any support, then reach out by following the prompts if you're listening to the podcast, or sending us a Facebook message if you are live on Facebook with us today. Comment below if you are watching this in the training. and we'll see you for the next episode. If you are serious about taking action on your struggle with food, body, and weight, then this is for you. Go ahead and text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483. Immediately after texting that number, you will get access to our free training that will tell you why you can't figure the food, body, and weight thing out, why you can't keep weight off even after you've been successful in the past, and how to actually overcome it, including a mini hypnosis session at the end. Don't miss out. Text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483.